Howdy. Today we're going to take a look at the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll take a look at their 2025 roster and see the changes that were made for this upcoming season. People who joined, people who left. We're going to go player by player. Well, I mean, for the positions we care about for fantasy. So quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end. Everyone else we don't care about. I mean, we care about them, but not for this purpose. We're going to look at the stats, see which players I am interested in to draft. And again, if you're like me, or maybe you're not like me, but I really don't pay attention to a lot of off-season news. So I'm not really specifically team by team. So I'm not sure. I mean, of course, I know Justin Herbert's still there, but some of these players who are on like 1 or 2 year contracts, making sure that they're still there. And of course, there's players who, get higher up, like maybe last season they were a wide receiver 2, maybe now they're wide receiver 1, right? So we're just tracking things like that, how that's changed. Obviously, there's some coaching changes over there, which we'll talk about, but we'll kind of jump in and see. And again, if you guys like this format, let me know in the comments. If you guys have any tips or anything that I don't know, definitely point that out as well. So we'll start easy. Obviously, Justin Herbert is still the quarterback for the 2026 season. Obviously, we're huge fans of Justin Herbert. We'll definitely have to see where he goes. I think right now, I guess we could look to confirm, but I'm pretty sure he's high up there in terms of where people have him. I'm pretty sure that he's being drafted in the top 10 for sure as a quarterback. I think, yeah, so he is right now, he's at overall number 7. I think, yeah, people have him like 7 or 8. So obviously and I'll just talk about like the 3 above him and 3 below him. So it would go Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. And yes, all of those 3 that I mentioned, I would draft over Justin Herbert. And then it goes Justin Herbert, and then Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, and then Dak Prescott. Would I draft Justin Herbert over Caleb Williams? I actually probably wouldn't. I think I like Caleb Williams better. I think he runs more. He probably has the same quality receivers. Trevor Lawrence, I would definitely draft Herbert over it. I would draft him over Dak Prescott, even though Dak Prescott has better wide receivers. And I would for sure, sorry, I'm going one more below. I would definitely draft him over Brock Purdy. So, even though Brock Purdy has better wide receivers. So, but I just trust Herbert better. I think he's a better quarterback, more accurate. I think he's going to throw for more yards than them. So, yeah, Justin Herbert. I would give him I'm pretty excited about him and his prospects. So we'll give him a little thumbs up there. Okay, so now we're going to the wide receivers. So the first news, and again, I'm looking at the roster here, is that Keenan Allen is no longer there. So unfortunately, Keenan Allen is gone. Let's see. And I don't think he has a team right now. I think he is still looking. Let's see if there's any specific news on where he would be going. I think there's speculation. I think for him, who's a older player, he's 34 years old. He was obviously on the Chargers for a long time. Then he went to the Bears, Chicago Bears, for a season. Then he went back, I think at least a season. Then he went back to the Chargers for 1 year, and then he just wants to go somewhere else. What I was trying to say is, I don't think he needs to make his decision that quickly. I think as a veteran wide receiver that he go to team, I think it's okay if he signs a little bit later, makes a decision a little bit later in the next couple weeks. I think there's some interest in like the Colts probably. But anyways, for this video, we'll get to there when we get to it, but he's not there anymore. So what does that mean? So in 2025, he got 81 receptions, which was pretty good. 777 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. Um, I mean, that's pretty good production. Um, yeah, I mean, you can't complain. I think that was pretty good. He was definitely, um, I mean, those numbers for a wide receiver ones were decent. I don't know why. Maybe why he's choosing not to go there, why to stay. But let's take a look at some of his numbers. So again, we're looking at Keenan Allen. Let's pull up some of this data. Um, make this a little larger. So yeah, I mean, he had a really good start to the year. 10 targets, 1 touchdown, 7 targets, 1 touchdown, 11 targets, 1 touchdown, and then around 60 yards each. I think he did really well. I'm not sure what happened over time. Um, Definitely less targets, as you can see. Obviously, Ladd, I think someone can make the argument that he took over as the wide receiver one. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely production here that needs to be, you know, made up by somebody. And I think that's going to go to Ladd. Obviously, that makes the most sense. If you look at the depth chart, he is number one on there. It's Ladd. Quentin Johnston is number two. There's also Trey Harris as well. I mean, let's just throw Trey Harris on here. If you guys remember, if you don't, like me, that's okay. Um, he was a rookie last year, and he had 30 receptions, 324 yards, 1 touchdown, and yeah, so that's like almost 11 yards um, per game. Sorry, 11 yards per game. My math is bad. Um, 11 receiving yards per game. So not so great. But I do think his second year, there he is. I do think his second year will be better. Obviously, being under Mike McDaniels now, I think is good. Obviously, Kinal's not there, so someone has to make. Sorry, Quentin, I took you out. Someone has to make up the production, and I don't think if I had to guess, I would say maybe Ladd is obviously number one. He's gonna get majority, and then Quinton is gonna share with Trey Harris. They even have a couple of other people, some new guys, Andre Lambert Smith, and then the rookie Brennan Thompson, which I think people are interested in. But yeah, but the idea was that I still think that the target share with Ladd is going to be yeah, too much. Um, let's see if I could quickly pull up um, the target share for each of these guys. Um, let's see. What can I pull? What can I? So for the Chargers, yeah, the wide receivers were getting like 68, and then the running backs were getting about 13th, and the tight ends were getting like 18. So, yeah, I mean that makes um I think that makes the most sense. Um, I do think that Keenan's Keenan's targets will probably go to Quinton and Trey Harris. Let's see where these guys are being drafted and projected. So, for example, Ladd, he's going around like 20, so exactly 20. So he's in the top 20. He's exactly 20. The three people before Ladd is Rashi Rice, Amika Buka, Tetaroa McMillan, which, yeah, for sure, I would draft over him, even though he's one. Even like someone like T. Higgins, obviously, is, on that offense in the Bengals. Obviously, going to get a lot of shares, even though he's wide receiver one. I'm afraid that he's going to lose a lot of targets to the running backs and especially the tight ends. So I'm excited for him. I think he'll have a better year. Obviously, Mike McDaniel will, you know, with Jalen Waddle. Um, um, Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll have maybe he'll have. So if he's 20, I think he'll probably end up being in the, yeah, that range, 15, 16, 17 range of all the wide receivers. I mean, Quentin Johnston is what, 38. So if he's top 20, he's top 40. Am I excited about him? Um, if you're getting him, in the top 40, then sure, I think that's fine. Anything else than that, I think, yeah, it's, you never know. You, again, you're going to be losing some targets to some of these running backs. So, which we'll take a look at right now. Omarion Hampton, I think is going to have a really good season. I think he didn't have a great, I mean, of course, he had a decent season. Um, he's going to be their, obviously their featured running back. Remember last year he was injured for like 10 weeks, and it was this whole like, is it Kamani Vidal? Is it Hassan Haskins? A lot of people thought it was Haskins. It ended up not being Haskins, it ended up being Vidal. And you could actually, you know, even double down on that because Haskins isn't even there anymore. I don't think Haskins has a team. Hassan Haskins he's not on a team, but Houston tried out veteran Hassan Haskins and Alexander Madison just a week ago. So yeah, I think it's going to be Omarion Hampton. I think he is probably the only one that I'm like really excited about. I think he'll have a great season as long as that offensive line stays healthy. But I think he is a great, yeah. Let's see where he's going to be drafted, but I think he's going to have a really good season. Again, Mike McDaniel, obviously, all those running backs in Miami did really, had great seasons with him. So I don't see why he wouldn't have a great season under Mike McDaniel. Let's check out some of these stats. Again, remember he was injured. So, there we have to consider that. But here, let's take a look at some of these numbers and see where he ended up. Oh, did I miss a week? I did. And it was an important week. So remember, he missed, and it was in the middle of the season. I thought he was doing really well in the beginning. So week 1, he had 48 yards, 2 receptions, two targets. Well, I guess he didn't have as good of the beginning. I guess week 1 and 2, not so great, but week 3, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 targets. Week 4, 128 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 targets. I mean, he could catch. Look at this. I'm looking at these. He's getting thrown to, and he's catching at 6 for 7, 5 for 5, 6 for 6. Then later on, week 17, 8 for 8. Yeah, I think he's going to have an even better season than he did. And I think, yeah, I think as long as he could stay healthy, as long as the offensive line can stay healthy, yeah, definitely, definitely get him if you can. He is going 10. He's going 10 right now. Like that's where he's ranked. The 3 above him is Kenneth Walker, Ashton Genty, Chase Brown, then Samarian Hampton, and then 11, 12, 13. So Devon Achan, Derrick Henry, Jeremiah Love below him. So would I rather have him more than Achan? I don't know. Maybe let's make a decision. Yes, probably. Would I would have him more over Derrick Henry? No, but that's where he's going. Jeremiah Love, again, rookie running back. I think a lot of people are focusing on they have a better offensive line. They are under Mike McDaniel. They're just a high-powered offense. I think he's gonna, again, because he does get all those targets as well. I think he'll do fine as long as he can stay healthy. But yeah, I think he's a good choice. Vidal, he's a backup. Don't even consider him. unless you need a handcuff. So let's go to tight ends real quick. Will Disley is not there. He's not there. He doesn't have a team yet. I looked. I don't know where he is. Um, it doesn't matter. Um, I think he had a decent last year, but I care more about how Gadsden did last year. I actually thought Gadsden did really well, but then, I mean, he did. He did really well. I'm not gonna say he didn't do well. I just thought he did better than, in my head. So, like, if we're looking at Gadsden, right? Looking at Gadsden, there he is. And let's just pull up some of these numbers from all the tight ends, okay? All the tight ends. You would think Gadsden is like, I don't know why I thought he had top 10, at least top 15. He was top 20. So, I just thought tight ends did really well. I mean, I think what happened with Gadsden is, as you can see, again, these are targets. He missed 3 weeks, whatever, that's fine. But he had some weeks where it wasn't great, right? Versus these other ones. I mean, obviously Trey McBride. I think like even Kyle Pitts had a great year. But some of these like Goddard, Auten, Okonkwo, Ingram, like I thought he did better than them. I mean, target wise, like yeah, 16. I mean, the same as Kittle, which is fine. But look how much time Kittle missed, right? So maybe he'll have more this year. But like if you're only drafting one tight end in a 12-person league, he's not even gonna be on there, right? Yeah. So I thought it was just interesting. I think he'll have a better year, but I'm, I guess, not as excited as I was last year. I would still be worried about it. But again, Keenan Allen's not there. This has to go somewhere. I'm going to give him. This is harsh for him, but like, yeah, I think he's good. But if even his performance last year, even if he didn't miss those 3 games, he's still probably not in the top 12. I think there's just so many other tight ends out there. I also think they're just going to run the ball a lot. Run the ball a lot and run the ball a lot, I guess. So again, Herbert, yes, interested in. Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson. I mean, yeah, if you could get him, again, he's in the 40. If you could get him, obviously in the later rounds, yeah. And then Omarion Hampton. I think Omarion Hampton, would I get him in the first round? Probably not. I wouldn't get him in the first round. Even though he's going to be the RB1, even though they're going to run a lot. But yeah, I still think that there's still a lot of question marks around it. And I think they're just too balanced, right? Like you would think sometimes where it's like, oh, they definitely have better wide receivers, running backs, or better running backs, wide receivers. Here it's pretty balanced where it's like you just never know. And with Mike McDaniel coming in, you're just not sure. But they got to stay healthy. Rashawn Slater is healthy. He hasn't been practicing, which is fine. Just have him show up week 1. That's fine. Joe Alt is practicing. There was like the funny Joe Alt quote that they had from practice. Mike McDaniel ran across the field yelling, "Great job, Joe Alt," during practice today after Alt blocked Khalil Mack on a screen, something the Chargers have struggled to do throughout camp. Mike McDaniel said Alt has exceeded my expectations. So I don't know what were his expectations already. Exceeded expectations that were pretty high coming in. Called him an over-the-top pleasant surprise. I mean, was Joe Alt like top 3 pick or something like that? Anyways, that's that. Let me know what you guys think. Did I get these right? Was there someone that you are more excited about than I am? But that's the Chargers. Hope you guys like the format of this video. Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one.